I think there must be something wrong with me, Linus. Christmas is coming, but I'm not happy. I don't feel the way I'm supposed to feel.
What's going on, friends? Welcome to another episode of the Zen Gen podcast. As you know, this one is entitled A Charlie Frown Christmas. Obviously a play off of A Charlie Brown Christmas. I know around the holidays, people tend to have the holiday blues. And, you know, it's a time where there's just so much love. This is why I love this holiday season, because it's my favorite time of year. And that's because the frequency of love is so imminent and powerful, and you feel it. And, you know, to those who are around it but aren't fully balanced in themselves, they may feel quite the opposite. Not full of love, not full of excitement. And that could be due to what's going on around them, what they're currently going through, the people around them, a number of things. So, you know, I started out this podcast with the Charlie Brown sound, and actually let me bring it back to that episode so you guys know what I'm referring to.
Love and dreams to share. I think there must be something wrong with me, Linus. Christmas is coming, but I'm not happy. I don't feel the way I'm supposed to feel. I just don't understand Christmas, I guess. I like getting presents and sending Christmas cards and decorating trees and all that, but I'm still not happy. I always end up feeling depressed.
Charlie Brown, you're the only person I know who can take a wonderful season like Christmas and turn it into a problem. Maybe she's right. Of all the Charlie Browns in the world, you're the Charlie Browniest.
Linus just played him. So that bit right there. If you rearrange the words depression, you'll get the words. I seen this on a meme, so I'm not going to take credit for it. If you rearrange the letters in the word depression, you get I pressed on. And that's what you need to do. I get it. Maybe you're feeling down because you've lost your job, or you feel like you're not where you should be in life, or you're not happy in your relationship, or you're not being treated right, or you're not making enough money, you're barely getting by, or you're lacking self-confidence in yourself, you're not feeling quite beautiful or handsome, whatever it might be. God, Source, the universe, creator, you are put through certain situations in life for a reason. You're put through these situations as a test of not only strength and resilience, but to see if you'll learn from it and grow from it. The way life is mapped out, it's not supposed to be easy. If it was supposed to be easy like that without you learning your lessons, then there really is no point of being here in this existence, because your soul wouldn't grow. Now, in the spiritual sense, every soul is here to elevate and have more higher awareness, right? Higher awareness equals higher consciousness. And like I said in previous episodes, higher consciousness means you're closer to the frequency of Source, God, the light. Instead of seeing things, this is how I used to view the stuff that I went through. Instead of viewing it like, why is this happening to me? If you flip it and say, what is this teaching me? So for instance, right, let's say you lost your job. What in this time that you have off, as you reflect on life, as you reflect on your career, what have you, ask yourself, Did your job take up all your time? Were you working in a toxic work environment? Were you no longer driven at this job? Sometimes it could be, remember, God and your spirit team can see way further and beyond than we can, at least in this 3D plane. So it could be something that down the road, it would not have been good for you. It would not have helped you. As much as you think it would have, it wouldn't have. Those are just things that I'm using as examples of how you can see lessons as blessings. You know, I could say for me, like, I started out in the music business when I was, 22? I worked at Hot 97 for my entire 20s. I grew up there up until I was 34. It's a long ass time. And then, you know, my job got cut. And I said to myself, I'm like, oh, okay. What am I supposed to do? We'll talk about all this in the next episode to wrap up the year about what my personal lessons are. But I'm saying this for a reason. That for me, I was just so involved in going after what I want, chasing my career and all that, right? That like I lost sight of who I was without my career. Like, who am I now? What am I supposed to do? Like, who is Jen? So that took me on a journey, among other things, which, like I said, I'll speak about in the next episode. But I say all that to say, like, there's lessons in everything. Not saying emotionally it'll make it easier, but it'll definitely bring you more awareness. And listen, it's okay for you to feel emotional about what's happening to you. It's okay for you to want to cry, scream, yell. Like, get that out of you. Purge that out of you. But just don't let that fester within you and sit within you. Release it. So imagine like you're going to you're taking a shower and you know the water's just running off your body. That's what your emotions should do. Because what happens is as you continue to sit in these emotions and you feel them, your mind will start spiraling. So a lot of this requires mental discipline. Mental discipline is something that all of us should practice. You literally are teaching yourself to nip a negative thought right in the bud as soon as it happens instead of letting it go. Because then it'll just be like a snowball effect. As it rolls down the hill, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. That's what you can do if you stay in a negative mind state, which then could ultimately lead to depression, right? So if you can teach yourself to just cut it off, that thought, as soon as it happens, and shake that shit off, do your best to do that. I mentioned the work scenario because that's the first thing that came to mind, but it applies to everything. If you find yourself in a place right now where you're lost and you don't know what to do, believe it or not, you're exactly where you need to be. As hard and difficult as that might sound, there's a reason why you are in this holding space right now for self-reflection. Because maybe you have never self-reflected because you're always on autopilot, you're on the go. Or maybe let's say you're in a relationship and, let's say your relationship ended and now you're stuck and you're like, what am I supposed to do? Whether you're the one that did the breaking up or the opposite, it's like, take a look at that relationship and what did it do for you? What did it teach you? And what did it teach you about yourself, most importantly? Maybe the things you need to change, maybe boundaries you need to put up. Let's say now you're talking about some of you who are stuck, not being able to find a job. Like, fucking sucks. I get it. The economy is ass right now. Like, it's hard. It's hard for a lot of people out there. only 1% are in the millionaires or up, right? Bracket. Like the rest of the folks are in the 99 percentile of middle to lower class. So it's like some people are living check to check, and I get it. It's hard. And for that, you just gotta keep pressing on. You can be put in these situations, but you'll still keep on going. You won't give up. You won't give in. And it's a test of your strength. The test of your strength not only to persevere, but to not allow everything outside of you to affect you and have power over you. And I get it. It's easier said than done. I've been there. I've had my moments where I'd be like, yeah, I got this. And there's days when I'd be like, what the fuck, yo? And there'd be moments I'd talk to God and my spirit team, be like, yo, what's up? What's going on? I'm doing the inner work. What's going on? And we can't see it. But God and your spirit team can. Some lessons are not going to be learned overnight. You might think you learn the lesson, or you're like, yeah, I got this. And then a month later, you'll revert back to your old ways, whatever that might be. Divine timing is real. Not only for when things will happen for you, but also things you have to go through. And there's just some moments in life where I'm going to keep it real with you. You know, I always real talk on this podcast, just like I do my radio show. Like, sometimes you gotta get kicked down to get back up. How are you gonna know what you're made of if you don't get kicked down sometimes? To find the strength in yourself, to see what you're capable of. So that when you get past it, you can look back and say, yeah, I did that shit. Through all my trials and tribulations, I still held on. I still fought through. I still have faith in God and my spirit team, because a lot of people can turn their back on spirit during these times. And it's also a test of faith. It's a test of whether or not you believe and truly believe in the divine, that the divine has your back. Or are you going to cut them off? You know, I always say this because it's true. Your spirit team's around you. Consider them like, you know, like your basketball team. Like, you know, all of you guys come together to like win the game or whatever. Like you all play a role. That's like your spirit team. They're here to help guide you and lead you. They're here to not only help you and push you through, but again, God wants to see if you truly believe in Him and spirit. And that honestly is what kept me going during my times of worry, anxiety, doubt, overthinking, and all of the above. But, you know, I could have given in. I could have given in and given up. Those negative energies definitely wanted me to. But I kept the faith. Now I kept the faith in my spirit team because I knew they got me, but I put the batteries back in my back and I'm like, all right, I got this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to make it happen any which way possible. And I'm going to do it with fucking integrity. Because this is also when the negative energies, the darkness comes in, right? You might be going through some things. The darkness will creep in through thoughts. Not only physically, through people. That's where they know to get you. Because everything begins here. Within, right? And everything starts with a thought. So this will start to creep in, like, you'll start really having really, really dark thoughts about your life. Do not allow something outside of you affect your well-being, your mental health. Nothing, no one should have dominion over you and your spirit like that. That's number one. So when these thoughts creep in, 'cause that's like a gate for the negative energies, right? The dark energy, the darkness. it's like an opening, like, whoo, let's go. And as soon as that opening goes, if you don't nip that shit in the bud, if you don't close that opening right away, like, it'll just fling wide open, the door wide open. And then, unfortunately, some people can't come back from that. Or some people can, or some people revert to just, you know what I'm talking about. So, if you can train yourself, your brain, your mind, to just cut it off as soon as it happens, those negative thoughts, that's 1. 2, yes, I know it's very hard to wake up every day facing what you're facing, but you gotta push through. You gotta fight through because you're supposed to. You came here for a reason. And what just crossed my mind too, I want to shout out Iron Boy BKT, who left a comment under the video that I made on our Instagram page about being stuck in a toxic pattern, toxic situation, and like the universe, God's source, making something happen so drastically in your life so that you can change. And he left a message which touched my heart because he wrote, I'm gonna cry. I have really heard my inner man speak to me many times but ignored. Look where it landed me. I can relate 100% what you're saying, but how do I know what path I'm supposed to be on? I can speak from my experience that, you know, I had similar thoughts. I felt kind of like unsure of which direction to go to. I felt lost. But eventually you'll find your way. You can't expect to get the answer immediately. You just can't, especially after coming out of something so drastic, right? Whatever that might be for you, for him. It's not going to be an instant validation of knowing what that is. I'm going to keep it real. You're going to have to walk this path. It might be difficult emotionally, but what you're going to learn from your situation is going to be so valuable to your soul growth and your ascension, growing you as an individual, changing you for the better. Well, I would hope, because again, free will. You can choose to remain the same or you can change. But I would bank on if God, the universe, made such a drastic change in your life that you probably should be changing. And it's hard because a lot of people, I think I said this in the other episode, a lot of people don't want to look in the mirror at themselves. They don't want to see what's looking back at them. And the fact that they don't want to see what's looking back at them speaks volumes that they have to look at themselves. Just keep on putting on this mask. Like eventually you lose yourself. So I would take this time to, if you all are going through something similar, something drastic happened in your life, take this time to do the healing work and absolutely reflect first. Think about what just happened and what you can do in the future to prevent something like this from happening again, or prevent it from even starting, or thinking about what caused it, the root of it. It's not going to be a quick fix, right? You're not going to have an answer immediately. But this is called life. The process of life. There's just some things you got to go through. No, a lot of you guys may not want to hear that. Maybe some of you want me to give you some sort of anecdote to do to like make that shit speed up. But there's just something you got to ride out. And you might think that you're done riding out, but like, nah, you're not done. You got to keep going. Like, that's what I learned with God and my spirit team. When I was like, yo, are we done? And it was like, no, it's more. I was like, oh boy, here we go. But I'll tell you this. I'm proud of myself. As much as I'm going to be proud of you. And you should be proud of yourself. For being strong and pushing yourself, lifting yourself up to get through. And that's your higher self, which is the higher consciousness of you. That's telling you, yo, you got this. You're going to learn from this, and you got this. And your spirit team also watching you, pushing you, and helping you and guiding you through the process. So, whatever it is you're going through that's making you feel depressed during this holiday season, you're going to be okay. It's going to be all right. It's always going to be all right. That's if you choose in your mind and that mental discipline to tell yourself it's going to be all right. Again, you can feel the emotions. Just don't let it build within you. Piling up inside. I'm getting like an image of rocks just piling on top of each other, like your emotions. Don't let it get to that point inside. Release it. Free it out of you. Don't hurt anyone, clearly. You know what I mean? If you need to punch a pillow, don't take it on anyone. What I'm saying is just, some people need outlets to relieve certain emotions, right? And that's fine. So again, as long as you're not hurting anybody, I don't condone any of that shit. But release it and then let it go. And then the next day, do what you gotta do. Whether that means send out your resume or go look for a job or, alright, you don't have your husband or wife, your girl, your man or whatever next to you anymore. Your heart's gonna hurt. You will heal. You will always heal. And if you feel like you won't always heal, it's because you have not learned the lesson you're supposed to learn from that situation yet, which means you need more healing. Think about, all right, now, how do I go about living as a better partner? If it's a financial situation, again, all right, let me figure out how I'm going to make this money. For me, what I do is, it's like, instead of stressing on a situation, I'm like, all right, I'm going to problem solve. Because worrying has the same amount of energy as being ambitious. It requires the same amount of energy. Difference is, one is negative, one is positive. Almost all energies are like that, but one is on the flip side. So which one are you going to do? You going to keep worrying, or are you going to do something about it? For me, the way I see it, I'm like, all right, how am I going to fix this problem? Am I going to worry myself to death? Am I going to be sad all day? Am I going to be anxious all day? Am I going to be depressed all day, living in my emotions? Or am I going to get up and get out of this funk, whatever that might be, to help you get out of your funk? Do something that makes you happy and just go. But again, reflect, because that's how you learn, and keep going. You got this. Look at me dead in the eyes right now. I want you to look at me. You got this. Hear me out. Hear me. You're going to be okay. You got this. Doesn't matter if you fucked up, someone else fucked up, or whatever fucked up, whatever, who else, it just doesn't matter. You. Stay strong. Keep your head up. And press on. 'Cause you're gonna make it to the other side, and you're going to learn the lesson you need to learn from whatever it is you're going through right now. Because if it's put you in this type of state of mind, it's a massive lesson to learn. And you will learn from it. As long as you choose to look at it that way. Again, what is this teaching me versus why is this happening to me? And I know, sometimes it feels like the weight of the world is on your fucking shoulders. You feel like there's never gonna be no end to this fucking bullshit. But there is. I was able to get through the fucking storm, the fucking tsunami, typhoon. Not only because of the strength and resilience that I had, but knowing that God and my spirit team had a plan for me. It may not have been immediately, but now that I'm here right now at this moment in time, I see why. Would I want to go through it again? Hell no. They know this. I tell them all the time, right? But again, everyone's journey is different. My journey has been very specific for a specific reason. But for you, you're going through what you're going through for a specific reason in your life, the way it's been written out. But the point of it all is to not lose faith that your spirit team got you. And to be quite honest, this, whatever it is you're going through that's putting you through these bouts of depression, that's purposefully done as well for you to really connect strongly with your spirit team and God, source, the universe, creator, whatever word you want to use. This is the moment for you to truly, truly speak to them. And you'll see they'll answer you. Some of you, maybe you'll hear something or see something. No, some of you, it's just in the little things that happen, signs, and it could be someone you come across, a conversation you hear, something you see on TV, something you see on your phone, a message, or you know what I mean? They'll answer you as long as you're open to it. But this is truly a moment for you to reconnect with Source and Spirit Team, because everything is divinely orchestrated, like I've said in all my episodes. There are no coincidences. So take this time to really connect. And I could say that because during my time of the shit that I was going through, I leaned on them heavily. And they had no problem being that crutch for me, because that's what they're here for. To help you and guide you. But it also takes you choosing to go down the path of learning your lessons. I'm taken to, I was watching, this is how you know I'm an ancient ass soul, because if you're watching some old movies, but The Count of Monte Cristo, I was watching that on TV not too long ago. And this is how my spirit team showed me signs too, through things like that. But I was watching the movie, right? And there's a scene in the movie where the Count of Monte Cristo, right? He was betrayed and then thrown into a prison, suffering, getting beat every night, barely got food. He was in that jail for 7-8 years or something like that. And he would etch into the wall each year that would pass by. And so in the movie, you see the walls completely etched in like lines, counting the days of when God would come and save him. And he had wrote on the wall, I'm sorry, I forget what it was said, but it said, God will seek justice or something like that, right? And then it was like the 8th year or 7th year or some shit. And then he scratched it out. He didn't believe anymore. He's like, how the fuck am I going to get out of here? I didn't do anything wrong. I'm stuck in this jail. I'm being tortured every day. Like, what the fuck? Gave up. And then guess what happened? Some guy who was actually in the prison below, who's been in that prison for 20 years or something, came through the fucking floor. The guy had been digging a fucking tunnel to get out of the prison. Eventually, he got out the prison and then lived a very luxurious life and was very happy. My point is that I'm not saying it's going to take 7 to 8 years for you to get through what you're getting through. It could be, could not be. It depends on your life path, whatever's written out for you. But what I'm saying is don't lose faith. Don't lose hope. He couldn't get out of that prison because it wasn't his time to get out yet. So, whatever it is you're going through, you'll make it through. Source and Spirit got you. You just have to learn this lesson in your life, whatever that might be. Again, if you choose to. And here's the most important part. After you learn the lesson, will you apply it to your life? And that comes from the healing process. Everything begins from within. Right? I always say that. So, you heal that. You learn the lesson. In my first episode, I mentioned how knights, when they go into battle, right back in the day, like the Game of Thrones days and shit like that, medieval days, whatever, they wear like a ton of armor, which is heavy as fuck. Massive weight on them. That's life. And all of the situations, the trauma, the thought patterns, the toxicity, all of that is the armor weighing on you. And underneath all that armor is you. But as you heal, like I said in the first episode, each of the piece of armor gets lifted off of you until you're eventually free of all these emotional burdens, which honestly I feel is 10 times worse sometimes. It's 10 times worse than physical burdens. Emotional stability, maintaining the healthiness of your mind is a very difficult thing. Very difficult for people. That's until you decide to discipline your mind. Calm your mind down. There's many ways to do that. You can journal, write your thoughts out. Meditation does wonders. Taking time to yourself just to clear your thoughts and just empty out your mind. Try to spend 5 or 10 minutes doing it. If you're new to it, try 5-10 minutes. See how it feels. If your mind starts going, you start thinking a million things, you're doing the right thing because the nerves in your brain are starting to go. Like they're so used to you being on autopilot and thinking a certain way. It's like all of a sudden your mind is calm. It's like they don't know what to do. So it's like they're all like running around like the chickens with their heads cut off. Like, what the fuck? What are we supposed to do now? You're doing something right. So take the 5 minutes or 10 minutes, just throw on some meditation music, high frequency music, and close your eyes. Sit very comfortably. No crossed arms or legs. People do it differently. I prefer to do it this way so the energies can flow through you and release as well. And just free your mind, free your body. Maybe I might do a guided meditation one day on this. I think I might, if that's helpful for people. But start there. But to go back to say what I was saying about the armor. So as you heal these lessons through what you're going through right now at this moment in time that's making you feel depressed, it's just lifting off another piece of that armor off of you so you can heal and get back to yourself. I can't stress that enough. Depression can really make people do things that they shouldn't be doing towards themselves, maybe towards others. You serve a purpose here. Every soul, hear me again and again, loud and clear. Every soul that's here on this earth right now has a purpose. And you will find that purpose. You will. Could be something that people look to you and your story to get through. Could be that you are the light within your family to show the way. Could be that you are a testimony to what strength and perseverance and determination is. Could be through your situation you've learned to become a better human being, and now you go off and you start doing things to help people. Everyone serves a purpose here, and it all adds, no matter how big or small that might look like to the human eye, but to the spiritual world and the spiritual realms, it's massive. Massive. So as I wrap up this episode, I want you to do something for me. I want you to dust yourself off. All right? Shake that shit off. I want you to look at yourself in the mirror or sit and say to yourself, I am strong. I am resilient. God and my spirit team are leading the way. And I know I'm not alone in this. 'Cause you're not alone. You're never alone. Your spirit team got you, and they're going to cradle you and hold you so tight to let you know that you're not alone. You have everything you need within you to get through whatever it is you're getting through. And don't give up. Don't give up. You're needed. God would not have allowed you to come down here and incarnate here on this earth. You could have incarnated anywhere, first off. You chose to come to earth. So the fact that you're here, not everyone gets to come here, mind you. The fact that you're here means you serve a purpose. Again, it's not going to be something that you might be able to, you want to type in and get the answer right away or go ask somebody. Like, you're going to have to ride this shit out. Come on now. How you going to learn if you don't ride shit out? Fucking sucks ass. I get it. Trust and believe you me. I get it. I'm not going to sit here and paint this like it's rainbows and butterflies, because it's not. Might not be what you want to hear, but I'm going to tell you the truth. But like I said, though, on the other side of it, on the other side of the storm, is a fucking level of awareness, a renewed outlook on life. And I'm going to wrap this up with I know I went all over the place. It's just these thoughts are coming in all at once, like, because I'm getting just pulled to like different types of different people that are going through different things right now in life. So that's why it seems a little scattered. My apologies. But listen, if you listen to my podcast, you know this is how it is. But what I'm trying to teach you in this episode is, of course, the mental discipline and feel your emotions, but learning how to release them and not letting it build up inside. And then viewing what you're going through as what lesson are you supposed to learn? What is it that you need to do better for yourself and as a human being? For your own spirit in your life. God, source, the creator universe, and your spirit team got your back. They are here. They are here. With you. By your side. Cheering you on. So if you are alone right now, and you're listening to this, just know you're not alone. You're not alone. You can take my word on that. And there's nothing to be scared of. You came here with a spirit team. When I say here, incarnated on earth with a spirit team. A team specifically curated for you in your life and your life path. You see what I'm saying? You're needed right now. So if you're needed right now and you have a purpose here, that means you have no choice but to get through whatever it is you're going through right now, mentally, emotionally. And you're going to be all right. Okay? So I'd like to wish everyone a happy holidays if you're celebrating. Take what you want from this episode. And if you're ever going through bouts of depression or feeling down and out, I want you to just play back this episode so it can continue to motivate you and inspire you to fight through whatever it is you're going through. Because like I said, from my experience, it's as hard as it gets, and it got hard for me. It is absolutely incredible on the other side. I will say this because it's coming. Ooh, ears ringing. Okay, last thing I'm going to say is that if right now if you are in a bout of depression, anxiety during the holidays or in general in life, this is the turning point for you. This is a massive, massive milestone in your spiritual evolution. Your life more than likely is going to be changed on the other side, and people might think that like that would be something physical, which it can manifest into that, but the emotional, which I feel if you're watching this is I'm feeling like it's more detrimental than the physical for you at this moment, the emotional state of mind. It'll be so much better for you once you get past all of the hardship and you go through the process and you soldier on. The renewed outlook in life is priceless. All right? I'll catch you on the next episode. Have a happy holidays.